Hey, what's up? So I'm just making another confessional video, and so pretty much this is what's going on in my life. Um, so right now, I guess I'm watching Survivor United Kingdom, like the first season, and I'm just trying to see what it's all about. And then, um, as far as video games, like I'm doing a Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster, Final Fantasy 6, and it's like okay, it's like usual. Okay, so yeah, I was just thinking right before this. I was like, I'm so surprised that I don't do this more often, just cause like I'm here by myself and it's like boring and there's like not much to do, but I guess like I find ways to entertain myself. So what I really want to talk about is how I'm addicted to liquid IV because like it's so hot here and like I just drink it just cuz it's like electrolytes or whatever Google like instructed me to do with my life. So yeah. And then I guess I'm just doing like a social experiment, like sort of like confessional, like from Survivor, just like turn the camera on and see what you have to say about what's going on, like right now. So yeah, like I don't know. I don't want to make fun of like other people, but like yeah, I like consume content, but like after maybe like 3 years of doing that, I'm like I start to notice little things about like videos and then I don't know, I just don't even want to get into it, but like I don't know why people edit like their videos. Like I have like thoughts about why, but I don't like my way of speaking is so like old, like people kids will probably get like offended and I get like canceled just for saying like a word. But like I don't know why people like edit their videos. Like don't you think like God made you perfect and you're always perfect? You know? That's how I feel. Um what did Robin say? She was all like, like it's not me, God is perfect, it's not me, and then I feel that, So, well, I used to think like we're made in God's image and God is perfect, so we're perfect. So I don't know. I'm not really that religious, but like I bring it up sometimes, and I'm like, oh, but I don't like ruminate about it a lot or even at all. But like I don't know. So I was I made a comment on like last video or whatever about how some Asians have this like put on smart sounding voice that they do because society sees them as smart because they're Asian and they just feel it, like all the time, like, oh, I know you're thinking I'm so smart because I'm so studious, which is true because we are, but yeah, I kind of wanted to elaborate on that. Kind of like, I don't know. I kind of feel like we just know how to assimilate into society and like different countries really well. You just kind of look at people and just like emulate like the lifestyle, or like if you don't know what to do, just like look at someone and see what they're doing. Like at work, like old people don't really want to talk to you. So you just look at them and copy what they're doing, and they'll probably be like, okay, he's working, you know. Um, and then we probably didn't think about it in high school, but I noticed sometimes I know like words like randomly, and then I'm like, whoa, that used it in like a sentence, you know. And like sometimes the words I like grab are like sort of um, intermediate. Oh, and I have like this like I think I'm like street, like I'm like ghetto, like I have a hard life, you know. But like in my mind, I'm like, you know, Asian, and then like sometimes I do find myself sort of sounding smart sometimes. And I think it's like embarrassing to say like, oh, I'm smart, or like, oh, my mom says I'm smart. Like even like old people, like teachers are like, oh, I'm not smart, I'm sharp. And it's like, okay, yeah, we get it. It's embarrassing to say that, but I don't know. I'm not saying I am, but I don't know. I don't even know what that means. Um, and then yeah, like I guess you don't really learn too much about the contestants on Survivor or TV shows just because like they're talking about like the game or what they're doing, and like, you know, like the whole everything going on right then, and then you don't really get to know too much about like them as a person, you know. Like sometimes, like a few times they'll say something like sort of personal, and then you kind of like learn a little bit about them, but most of the time it's like I'm gonna get this person, and it's like I have the advantage for once, and it's like this is my whole pre-planned out strategy to like win the money. And it's like, okay, you know, like I've seen that for like 20, 30 years, and like I get the whole thing. And then I even see it like in the office politics sort of thing. Even I worked in fast food, and people are like that in America, and it doesn't really bother me. I just know people are like stupid, you know. And yeah, I'm trying not to like do the Richard thing where he kind of like sits back, and then like his two favorite words are like observation and like analyzing, cuz that's like so stupid to like say that, just cuz I feel like everyone does that whether they're aware of it or not. Just like, what are you doing when you're like walking around and you're like looking at stuff? Obviously you're like observing, obviously you're like thinking at the same time, you know. You don't need to say that, but those are the two words that I hate the most in life, is just observation and like analysis. Just cuz like I just hate it. I like don't even like it cuz I notice people doing that all the time. And then yeah, so video games is going good. I was thinking about going to the bank in like a couple hours. I was thinking about just like um cuz like I don't have a traditional like sort of like job where like I have to go to sleep at a certain time and wake up and be somewhere, but since I'm not really doing anything that like crazy, you know, right now in my life, like I'm just finding myself staying up a bit longer, or like an extra day. Like maybe I'll take a nap, but not like a full like it's nighttime, I'm gonna go to sleep for 8 hours type of thing. I don't know. I feel like a lot of occupations are like that anyway, and I'm not trying to like do anything but, you know, might as well just like stay up and like have fun, you know. I do find myself getting a little bit kind of like wonky, like after maybe like a day and a half, where you're kind of just like, whoa, I need to like stop working and like actually sit down and like eat or something to like regain energy. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know, I just feel like I'm so old and like life is so short that I don't want, like, I don't want to be sleeping like half my life away, you know. And I've always felt that since high school. Like my prime was like high school, where like, I don't know, I don't even want to get into it, but I do that a lot. I noticed is I go, I don't know why I do that a lot, and I clear my throat a lot. Even when I think about doing it, like I just do it just because I don't care. And then like I guess the stuff like I'm thinking about is just like college stuff. I don't know why. Just like people in college. Like I don't know why I'm like daydreaming about that. I have no idea why. And like I don't know. I'm sure people are wondering, just like, John, what do you do all day? You know, like, so you game for like 8 hours, okay, but like, what do you do like in your sort of like time where you're just like fucking around or whatever? And then I don't know. I guess stuff like this, you know. I'm trying to just like, I don't know. I think like in my head, so like I'm a huge Survivor fan, so obviously like all of us, we think we're like, oh my god, I'm a great social player. Oh my god, I love like people person. Da, 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 da. And then like but I'm so old, like I have a hard time wrapping my mind around like apps and like uploading and like computer phones and stuff. So yeah, I'm a little bit slow there. But I'm always like that. Like I always get it done. I'm just like, so I'm a little bit slow. Um and then I guess like the thing going around right now is just like illness, mental. Like I was thinking about it like 2 days ago, and then like I don't really have anything. I don't think. Like I saw like a doctor recently, and like I have nothing. But I don't. I was just kind of, oh my god. Two things took me aback. One thing was how I found out when COVID happened that people in the U.S. live, like so many people live paycheck to paycheck, like families and like households where like if the mom like is withheld like one paycheck, like the family can't eat food for like a month, or like if both of them like is withheld check, like they'll be forced eviction or something. And I'm like, whoa, sis, like that's a little risky, don't you think? Like I would never think of moving out of the house, you know, as an Asian, if I didn't have any like emergency money or like savings. I would just never think of doing that because it's totally risky, and I don't even care what society thinks of me. It's just like, why would you do that? Just because like you feel compelled to do it because other people think you're like a fool, you know? And then just like stick to your race. You know, I just feel like saying that. Just like think of your race or something and like what your people do. And then the other thing was, besides the paycheck to paycheck thing, the other thing was how illness mental is like so prevalent now, especially amongst like the younger generation. And I don't know. We never were really taught anything about that in high school, just because like I don't know, like it's always just awkward people, and then you don't really think about it, and then you just see faces, you know. Um, but I mean, I don't make fun of it, and like I guess being gay is like not really that important anymore, just because no one cares anymore. And then like I don't know if anyone ever really did, but I guess it's not a big deal anymore, and then everything is about like mental illness now. Um, I don't know. I don't really have any thoughts on it, but it's just like I don't know. I guess I feel sad for them. I don't know. Like oh, it's just like how like their thoughts like attack them or something, and they like can't breathe or like I don't know. I don't even know what it's about. But that's scary, you know, if you can't function throughout the day without having your thoughts or a thought bother you like the whole day. That's like creepy, you know. And then yeah, that's really all I know about it. So like what I was getting into is just like hashtag skincare. Um just cause like I don't know, I wanna look better. And then um sorry, just snorted. Video games is cool. Like, I don't get bothered by it. Like, I never really thought that I would get over it, just like my life. But sometimes I do feel like I'm doing too much video games stuff for like a couple days, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna like do Survivor or like something and like take a break from it. But I never really get tired of it. And then I don't know, it's just in my life. And then Survivor UK is cool. I guess the person I'm rooting for is just like Adrian or like Pete or something. And then the girls, I guess Charlotte is like cool. She kind of looks like Kelly from our season. I don't know why. And then I forgot who wins. I totally know the name. I know it's a guy, and his name is like um, David or something like that. So yeah. I don't know. I'm just putting myself out there, I guess. Cause like I was always saying it before. I'm like, you know, John, like, don't be scared of like posting videos just cause like your parents don't want you to. Or wait, let's think about that though, cause like, but people post the weirdest stuff like in text and like in videos. People are just weird, you know, and then I'm not bothered by it. I don't think anyone else is either. And then you're like pretty serious when you make like a video. I don't know. So I guess I'll talk about my life. Like, I do have friends like in my head. I mean, like I'm so old. Like I'm 30 plus, and like having that whole like friends thing, like every day hanging out thing. It's just not. That's just not how life is. You know, after 30 or whatever, you just don't do that. And then I'm single, and I just don't do that. And there's just no explanation. People obviously people have families and they get married or whatever, or they have jobs, but we just don't do that. I don't know. And you don't really have to explain it. It's just like an age thing. And then like I was thinking like, what did people do before the internet? And then I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like my friends talk to me like in my own head. Just I don't really feel like I have to explain that, but it's just like you meet people in real life. You know their name, you know their face, you see them in your third eye, and sometimes you recall conversations. I think it's pretty normal. I never really did that when I was younger just because I didn't know too many close people. But over the course of my adult life, I've become close with a lot of other adults, not just in sexual relationships, but in friendships or just relationships, just like with other guys, just normally. And yeah, I think that's very normal. Just like thinking of your friends in your head. And like some people, honestly, I'm not making excuses, but they don't use Facebook. And it's hard to communicate with that, you know? And like snail mail is just, I don't know, like even when I was a kid, it wasn't really a thing, you know? And that's mostly what I do, like in my head all the time, is just like talk to my friends. And then um, I've noticed my thoughts change though over 36 years. It's like I remember in high school thinking really deeply about it, and then it was like when I was in high school, maybe like 15, 16, I used to wake up and think about my very first memory and just think about my life like as it's going on throughout the whole day. And then like when I get home from school, I'd reach a certain like memory or something, and then I just stop and like go online or something and watch TV. And then later on that night, I would like continue until I reach that present time. So I used to do that. And then like in my 20s was just like community college and like work and stuff and like saving money. So I didn't really have time to breathe, because I was serving so many customers. And that was really fun actually because like I used to smoke weed, so I would stop thinking thoughts because it's so annoying. But yeah, like keeping busy and like serving customers was really fun. I loved customer service, and I loved like always having a perma smile, always having to smile at people and like just doing that whole like fake thing. Just because it was so much fun, and like it like made my boring life not so boring in like a small ass town. And then I learned so much from customer service and just talking to a lot of people. And oh my god, I only have 1 minute, and I guess to make this story short is just now that I'm like 30, like my thoughts is just very relaxing. Like I just think of my friends, the people I've met in my life. I just kind of browse YouTube sometimes just to like have something. Maybe someone will say something like an AOL keyword, and I'll think about that for like an hour. And then if I like think about it, I'll go back, try to find something else to think about. Kind of like that. Okay, I guess I'll upload this now. Okay, bye. Old person signing out.